Here is the IBM. You can see the think center. Before also I've shot a video on this. So now is another video. I'm going to switch it on. But the problem with this is not coming switch on. There is no problem with this PC. As you can see, there is no display with this, but there is a power cord I just connected and it should switch on. Minimum it should switch on. The LED should come, but LED is not coming, you can see. So we are going to dig behind the problem. What's this? What's there inside? So here you can see this is the PC. When I'm going to open it, I remove just hard drive, but for the purpose of showing, I'm just going to show you how to check this through the multimeter, using a multimeter, how to diagnose the problem. Let us see. So here is the connector, the 12 volt and the 5 volt of course, and the ground also is there. So I'm going to fix the camera on the tripod to let you show how to test the procedure. I'm going to show you using the multimeter. So multimeter, you should put on the voltage, of course on DC voltage, and I am on the probes are on DC voltage testing and common. So here is the DC voltage, you can see, but it's difficult to see on, yeah, now it's okay. And I'm going to a little bit zoom it in so that you will be able to see. So here what I'm going to see is I'm trying to check for the voltage, and here is the common on the ground. Here is a 12 volt, there is 0 volt, you can see, and here on the 5 also there is a 0 volt or 28 millivolt. That's not nothing. So I'm putting on the 12 volt and going to switch the unit on to see anything, any change, but no change. So in this purpose there is some problem, either with the power supply, either with the board. There is some problem. You can see in the power supply, this is the power supply unit for this computer, and either with the board. So what I'm going to do is I'm limiting my problem. So here is what is the 12 volt connector, you can see on the board. These are normally shorting, the boards are shorting somewhere, so the power is switching off due to any the short circuit, and it is protecting itself, and it is not switching on. So what we are going to do is we are removing this 12 volt, you can see, for the board. I'm going to remove, and the other big connector, you can see here, the 20 pin, I'm not going to remove it, and I will see if the unit is switching on or not. So we will be able to minimize our problem area. So now still the meter is on the 12 volt line, and I'm going to switch on the unit. So here while I'm switching on, you can see the unit switched on. And if I will see the voltage, I'm getting the 12 volt. So now the unit came to life, but by which cost is we have removed the 12 volt from this one. So what can I understand from this is there is some short circuit inside over here in this area. So I will limit my fault, and then we'll see what's the component short circuited. Then I will replace that component and will remove that short. So what I have to do is, now I'm switching off the unit, and using my multimeter I'm locating the short. So using my multimeter I have to put it over here, and then making the multimeter on the continuity. Of course beep will be better. So by the beep I have to put the camera again on the tripod. The video will come a little bit shaky, but it's giving minimum the information you require. So now if I will test it over here, I'm getting a beep, and of course a reading of 2.2 ohm. So this is showing a short. Let us see, here is a short, and here again the same way I'm getting the beep. So there is a short circuit in what I'm suspecting on the board. So we will have to remove the components, the board, and then we'll locate the short circuit. So for the testing, what I found is, here is a transistor, we can see this seems to be short. As you can see, this transistor is short. This is a N channel MOSFET which got short in this board. Here is this one. So this got short, and what we will do is we will have to replace this transistor with another one. So for this purpose, what I am going to do is I have to remove it from the board. And the replacement transistor which is in my hand is, of course, this one, but this is way big than the existing one, but the specifications are nearly the same. So I will be able to reuse this transistor in place. What I will do is, actually there are 3 terminals you can see for this. Here is one, the other one is this, and the middle one, this is cut actually inside, and this is the tab one. So these 3 terminals are needed to be connected in place in the proper order. So what I will do is I will replace this transistor with this one, and I will make it like this, and will put some heat sink on, because this is creating heat. Some copper heat sink I will provide, and then we'll resolder it, this one. So for this purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm using my hot air gun to remove this transistor from, because there is no other way to remove it from. Only a hot air gun is a solution. So I'm using the hot air gun to heat up this one. Here is the kaufen. So this is what I will use it to remove this transistor from the board, and little bit kaufen I have to put on for the better heat transfer. Actually, the problem is the air. Actually, with the air, things are flying. What I am going to do is I have to put kaufen and then heat this transistor. So now the transistor is melted, and I can remove this. I think you will be able to see on camera. So this way I have to remove the transistor from, and of course I have to clean the pads a little bit using the same hot air. So by this way it's fuming. So I removed this, and we'll put the other transistor in. Here is the old transistor which I removed from. It's a bit hot. And here is the new transistor. You can compare. The new one is very much big. This I salvaged from some board, and I will put it in the place same way it was. So here is my transistor, replacement transistor with a heat sink. I just put the copper heat sink on the side of this. I soldered it with. So here I'm soldering in the same way as it was, the other transistor was, the same place. The pads, I'm just soldering its legs using my soldering pencil, of course. So by this way I soldered it, and on the beneath there was a wire. There is a wire, just I put it, you can see. So this is going to the pad which is the back side of the transistor. Here the back side, you can see this one, this tab is the same wire, it is coming from the main board. So I'm going to solder this one the same way. I have to put a little bit kaufen as a flux, and the same way on the heatsink also, so that it will make a good contact. By this way, with the heatsink, the copper heatsink actually is soldering very well. It's a bit older, that's why it's making a little bit difficulty for the soldering. It's hot also, I cannot grab it. So by this way I have to solder it in. So now it's properly soldered. So by this way, and Now afterwards I will show you while switching on the unit. So here is the transistor. I put it in. The older transistor, of course, it was short. As I checked on the multimeter, removed from the board, it was short, and we removed the short from. As you can see, this bigger size transistor, I set it in using a external heatsink. So each and everything I connected, and power also. So here is the multimeter, you can see, and the multimeter probes are of course on 12 volt and ground, you can see here. And now I'm going to switch on the unit, and of course this motherboard connector, I fixed it, firmed in position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch on the unit, and you will be able to see the unit is switching on, or still the short is there. Let us see. This is the first short, the first switch on I'm going to make. So here you can see the unit switched on as we were expecting. So here is the voltage, you can see, and of course this is telling that the fans are kicked on for the cooling. And here is the voltage from the power supply, you can see. So this unit is now okay. The beep, as you listen, was due to the keyboard and mouse were not connected. So I'm connecting it, each and everything, and I will show you the display also. Here is the first start on the machine. Let us see. This is switched on now. As you can see, the screen came. This was a successful repair. The short removed from. And here the machine is booting. As you can see now. Now it is in a booting process. Still it is booting. Fans kicked on. You can see as they felt hot. So it's telling F2. So I have to press F2 for the windows. This was giving some fan errors. So here the machine went to Windows. Thank you for watching. Keep on watching and share with your friends.